Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense, maybe not even today, but it's comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. And today, of course, is Thursday, February 24th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio 860 in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. And of course, you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. Hey, I see a couple of people out there. I see Joe and I see Michael. Thanks so much for watching. I totally appreciate it. Hey, by the way, if you're commenting from a group that's not the Money Chat Now page, actually, your name may not show up on my dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now page and comment there so I can recognize you. Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class tonight by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing, stock options trading from those who do it every day. Oh, boy. All right, so today... on today's show, of course, I'm going to be discussing the futures update and how the war is killing the market. We'll also be talking about the war is here. Russia invaded Ukraine, and we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about Google Unmandates. Basically, COVID restrictions may be ending, and they may not be. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the shoeshine boys, and I'm going to talk about that, and is the Great Depression actually coming back? And we're going to talk about that. I think that's something you definitely want to talk about. All right, so real quick, I'm going to say hello to a couple more people online. I want to say hello to Dan and Wendy and Charles and, of course, Paul, and I want to thank you all for watching. Let's talk about what's going on. So it was definitely another WTF day yesterday as the market started out okay, and then the fears of the crazies kicked in again. The strange part is the fact that there really wasn't much of any change to make the market drop during the day yesterday. Of course, the fear of war was the problem again, and it was also the typical I hate February stuff added in with the frightened money managers who are just trying to make good decisions. Well, I wish they would make better ones, because the S&P was in correction territory again, and that's not good, and of course it's going there again today. We will also have a bounce back in March, but these prices are tempting, and today will be even more tempting, and I'll talk about that in a little while as well. I also suggest holding out just a couple more weeks, and then we may have a real bottom, or at least a bottom that we'll be able to work on. And that may help you before the next move up. I'm expecting more bad days than good days coming up in the next big drop. After today will also be the day that the Fed actually raises interest rates. So yesterday the Dow actually ended down almost 470 points. It started up over 200, so that makes it a 700-point swing. I tell you, when days like that are brutal. The S&P closed yesterday at 42.25, and that's serious trouble. And the NASDAQ was really bad yesterday at right around 13,000, or even right now, right around 13,000. Well, it looks like the Biden effect is kicking in strong now, and I'm ready for the downfall, and I hope you are too. Two of the biggest losers yesterday were Tesla and Moderna. Tesla actually dropped 7%, and Moderna dropped 6.5%. Look, here's the deal with Moderna. Moderna is done as the world realizes the scamdemic is over. And for the ones who don't think it is, well, they're already vaccinated. So that means nothing else is going to change. They're not going to sell vaccines to people already vaccinated. Moderna's not going to be selling much more vaccines for the Democrat Nazi virus. That's basically it. So it's really pretty much over. And especially now that the government clowns have something else to keep them occupied, like war. The last president had to go to war with Nancy Pelosi because Trump was so good at controlling foreign policy and building the economy that the other clowns in office needed something to do. By the way, where's Pelosi? Why isn't she trying to get Putin impeached? She must be out spending her, maybe her Moderna profits from her insider trading. Go do something important for a change, Pelosi, instead of just going out after some of the great presidents. All right, right now the futures are the Dow is down about 800 points. The S&P is down 100. That's bad. And the NASDAQ is really bad, down 400. It's really bad, not good. All right, let's talk about this. Look, we already know the war is here. I've been saying it's going to be a short war, if a war at all, and basically if everyone could just keep calm. Yesterday, the weak leadership of the United States applied sanctions against Russia as Russia claimed some territory of Ukraine. Of course, the other countries start to follow through with their sanctions as well. And the sanctions, by the way, are going to punish the United States more than they will punish Russia. Trump had this country energy self-reliant, and then literally President Poopy Pants shut down the internal system, the pipeline, that made us energy self-sufficient. The problem is that now we're depending on other countries for our oil. So to cut off and sanction a country that's a major supplier of oil to us is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Did your parents ever say that? You cut off your nose to spite your face? Well, that's basically what we're going to do when we sanction Russia. Hey, Russia, we're going to stop sending you stuff. Hey, America, it'll be a cold day in the United States when you realize you're stupid. Oil prices are already jumping as oil will probably be above 100. It's just below it right now. Do you think this is because of greedy oil companies? Because that's what brain dead Biden's going to say. No, it's because the oil companies know that when you tell your best supplier of oil, we're going to punish you, they laugh. Well, last night apparently there were attacks in the Ukraine. The news reports President Putin announced an attack on Ukraine early Thursday local time, days after he recognized two breakaway regions of Russia's neighbor as independent. The long-feared Russian invasion of Ukraine has begun, and explosions were reported in the capital of Kiev and other cities around the country. Emergency sirens were blasting all night as reports of that six people died after a bombing in the southwest city of Podolsk. 7 people were wounded following the attack, police said, and 19 were missing. Podolsk is in the Odessa region in southwest Ukraine. And look, martial law and war-type lockdowns have been implemented in Ukraine. Schools are now closed, and civilian airport traffic has been shut down. Many embassies are also being evacuated as representatives from those countries are scrambling to get out of Ukraine. Ukraine is claiming that they downed 7 aircraft, but of course Russia is denying it. Ukraine's foreign minister condemned Russia's attack on his country and called for heavy sanctions on Moscow. He said, "We are calling for the fierce isolation of Russia. This is an attack on the world order." He continued, "We are calling on the United States, on the West, to immediately implement heavy sanctions, including immediate disconnection of Russia from the SWIFT system." The SWIFT system, by the way, is the bank system. It's a Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, and this will it won't cripple Russia in their banking system, but it'll just make things a little more difficult. It'll make it hard for us to send money, or other people send money to Russia and back and forth. He said this country needs access to more heavy weaponry and financial assistance. This is the part where I think it's scary. If the U.S. or other NATO countries send weapons, troops, or even finances to Ukraine, this could seriously trigger a long-lasting war. Look, China's Xi and Russia's Putin aren't playing games here, and the rest of the world leaders aren't used to strength and muscle being flexed. The world has gotten soft, and these two superpowers, the new self-proclaimed largest superpowers in the world, have been building up strength and resources. Russia is basically laughing at the sanctions and is fully prepared. The markets are reacting as oil prices keep moving up, and they will go up over $100 a barrel pretty quickly, maybe even today. The financial market is tanking as investors continue to get scared, and stop-loss orders are kicking in. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a rough day in the market, but a really rough day for the people living in Ukraine. And again, prayers for the people in Ukraine. It's going to be rough. Look, I'm going to take a break now because I want to just let this sink in before we go to other news. I will see you guys in about a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Felder Cohn and Larry Steinhouse about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend investor schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. Investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio 860 in Philadelphia, and if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn more about how to make more money. Of course, hit that like button and let me know you enjoy the show. You can also leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them live. Hey, listen, I just want to say hello to Lewis out there who's watching. I want to say hello to Carrie. I want to say hello to Bill also. So you guys out there, I always appreciate you guys watching. All right, so far, of course, we've been discussing the futures update, and right now the futures are bad. They're down. The Dow is down 823 points. The S&P is down 107, and the NASDAQ is down 428 points. We talked about the fact that the war is here, and frankly, I don't really know what we as the United States can do about it or any of the other countries can do about it, except just sit back and watch, because that's the position we're in, unfortunately. All right, coming up, we're going to be talking about Google unmandating, and we're going to be talking about shoe shine boys. All you guys in the market want to listen to this story about the shoe shine boys. All right, and of course, we're going to be talking about today's picks and plays. But first, did you guys hit that like button? Did you guys hit that share button? Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure to set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home, and let me know what you think of the show. All right, let's get into the second half, and let's talk about Google unmandating. Well, it looks like war is on the mind of the American people, so let's just toss out all the COVID BS of the past 2 years, because now we have a real problem instead of a made-up one. Well, at least that's the attitude of many of the states now, and companies as well. Google, who recently announced that if their employees were not vaccinated, they would get fired, is now saying they're dropping all vaccine mandates for their employees. Google is saying, all is well. No more mandates. Get back to work. Oh, and if you were fired or quit, sorry about that. However, all is not as well as it appears. If you are unvaccinated, you have to wear a mask to show your shame of the decision of medical freedom. Hey you, mask guy, you can't use this bathroom. You have to use the one across the campus. You know, for the people like you. Hey you, mask guy, don't you dare drink from that water fountain. You have to use the one down there. You know, the dirty one. We don't want any of your kind's germs over here. When will the people learn? Seriously, maybe we should take the virtue signaling Americans who wore their masks and got their vaccines in pride just to prove they were better than the rest of the people who had brains and thought about it, and send those virtual signals over to Ukraine and let them virtual signal there by showing the world how brave they are. Google will still drop everything that has to do with the mandates, and soon the rest of the country will come out of its COVID coma and learn that we have been had. By the way, I wonder if in 20 years we will have Unvaccinated History Month for all those who were abused by this system of segregation and lawlessness. All right, I want to talk about something that's really important. I want to talk about shoe shine boys. All right, listen up, everybody. This is important. Do you all know the folk tale, or maybe, I guess, the urban legend about the shoe shine boy? Well, it has been told with different characters, and one of them was Rockefeller, who at the time was the richest man in the country. The story goes that Rockefeller was getting his shoes shined by what used to be a way for teenagers to make a few bucks in the late 1920s. Look, most of my audience know what I'm talking about. However, for those few millennials out there, shoe shine boys had a box that they walked around with, and they asked businessmen if they wanted to have their shoes shined. When they got a customer, they had the customer sit on the box, and the shoe shine boy would then shine their shoes for a few pennies, which might be the equivalent to $2 or $3 in today's money, and maybe sometimes they would even tip above that, so maybe it would be equal to maybe $5 in this economy. Well, these shoe shine boys were small entrepreneurs, but that's all they really were. They were just small entrepreneurs. Well, the legendary story is that a shoe shine boy was shining Rockefeller's shoes, and not knowing who the customer was, he started bragging about how he was making money in the stock market, and he started giving Rockefeller stock tips. Well, Rockefeller went back to his office and decided to sell all his stocks because Rockefeller felt that if the common shoe shine boy was in the stock market with no knowledge and experience, the time to move on was now. Well, the legend continues that soon after that, the stock market tanked and the Great Depression started. Rockefeller was, of course, unscathed, and now I want to tell you why I brought this up. Well, last night, I met another shoe shine boy. Look, I've met several of them in the past year, or maybe the past 2 years, who've gotten lucky in both the stock market and, of course, the crypto market. Well, last night we had our meet and greet. By the way, if you guys, on the last Wednesday of every month, we get together in a place in Doylestown. It was a lot of fun. So last night I met someone at our meet and greet in Doylestown, and there it was. He was just another shoe shine boy. He was telling me about how he made a killing in the past 2 years in the stock market. Honestly, I congratulate him because I always like when people make money, but I soon realized as we talked that he knew nothing about the stock market or even stocks. He simply picked stocks that were companies he liked, and luckily he got out at a high point. By the way, I do like that idea of picking companies you like, but you still have to navigate them and still understand them. This meeting made me realize that the number of shoe shine boys I've run into in the past year is expanding exponentially. My fear is not only inflation and war, but the legend may just be repeating itself. There's going to be an awakening soon, and this is what the awakening is going to be. It's going to be an awakening where when all the shoe shine boys are broke and need to go to work. At the same time, we will have companies cutting back on hiring, and the next recession will start. I've been saying for 7 years now that at different events and speeches that I've given that between 2021 and 2022 will be the start of the next downturn. Why? Because it's normal. It's the end of the predictable 7-year cycle. Get ready and prepare yourself to not be a shoe shine boy. Buy precious metals. Buy hard income producing assets like real estate. And of course, I'm going to tell you right now, learn how to buy real estate when others are panicking. Listen, watch this next commercial, and if you have nothing to do tonight, actually, if you have everything to do tonight, show up at tonight's class, and we will teach you how to do it. We will see you in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right. You guys, I can't see the screen. I don't know what's going on. All right. I don't know if you guys unmuted me or not, but I'm assuming you did. There we go. Beautiful. All right. If you'd like to attend a free class, please go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, we're training a new engineer today, so please be patient. The guy's really cool looking too. He looks like Mickey Dolenz, if you guys know from the Monkees. All right, I want to remind you that tonight we have. I'm sorry, not tonight. Tonight we have class. So if you want to come to class, you can call 866-424-2829 or go to investorschooling.com, and you will definitely learn how to make more money and how to, make money in this crazy economy. It's going to be a little rough. All right, so far we've been discussing, of course, the futures update. The Dow is down 825 points already. The S&P is down 108, and the NASDAQ is down 435. We talked about the fact that the war is here, and it's going to be brutal. Definitely going to be brutal on the market, and of course it's going to be brutal to the people of Ukraine. I'm kind of hoping that I'm right, that they pretty much just knocked on their door. They knocked on their door with a couple of missiles, but they knocked on their door, and everybody's going to say, okay, fine, everything's good. Let's just come to an agreement. We talked about the Google unmasking and the fact that unmandating, not unmasking, because you have to wear a mask if you're not vaccinated, so you could be shamed out. We also talked about the fact that there are many, many shoe shine boys, and it might be time to be careful. It might be time. All right. Also, did you guys hit that share button? Did you hit that like button? You got to hit that share button, like button. Let everybody know what great stock picks are coming by sharing this information. You could share on your page or on groups that you feel will benefit from the great stock plays. You can also leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and LinkedIn. And of course, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. All right, let's get into what's going on here real quick. All right, today's going to be ugly. As you know, it's going to be ugly. And if you're in any place, you probably just don't even want to look. The market will probably turn so ugly that it'll probably move down over 1,200 points. And this is pretty common when panic selling and stop losses kick in with events like war. If for any chance you see a recovery today, and I mean a recovery, listen to this carefully, buy SPY puts. A recovery to me would mean something like the Dow is only down 300 points at one point. So right now it's down 820. If it goes down 300 to 300, not another 300, but instead of being down 800, it's down 300. When this happens, buy SPY puts. I'm already getting nervous about all my plays because they're all tanking pre-market. But don't panic sell. It will get better as long as you have time. If you have the stocks, you have plenty of time. If there's stock options and they're out far enough, you have time. But you're going to need to white knuckle it. Really bad days are usually followed by bad mornings with a recovery in the afternoon. Look for this tomorrow. It's very possible that tomorrow your favorite stocks will actually come back, but they won't come back to the afternoon. So if they drop today or they drop tomorrow, you want to pounce. All right, one last check on this. The Dow is down 831. The S&P is down 111. That's really bad. And the NASDAQ is down 451. That's almost 3.5%, which is terrible. I've also noticed something else, that the cryptos are pretty much reacting the same as the stock market, and the holders are all fleeing this market and looking to protect their cash. And once again, this is common with any asset, but it's surprising to me with this one. I did expect crypto to hold up just a bit as the world tries to figure out how to send money to those fighting for freedom, like in Ukraine or the Canadian truckers. We will see how this works out. However, it's definitely a shoe shine boy hobby. So be really careful. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a weird market. Right now, just real quick, just to show you, just to tell you, Bitcoin is down to 35,000. Ethereum is down to 2,300. So that's not all that great. I would say that we may have some more room to go down, and if it does, you want to jump on it. Gold and silver, they are the plays. Gold is actually acting as they should in a wartime situation. They are both rising. Gold is pushing 2,000. Right now it's at 1965, and silver is up over 25. It's actually almost 25 and a half. Even copper, platinum, and palladium. I was trying to say platinum and palladium at the same time. Even all of those are rising as well. And I'm going to tell you, get these assets. These are going to be assets you're going to want to hold on to as other problems happen. Treasury bond is sinking, believe it or not, on the fear of war as well. And we're going to see what the Fed decides to do in the next month or two, because there could be a problem here. It could be that if the Fed raises interest rates too fast, with war coming, or war happening, I guess, we may have another problem. I keep saying it, that they should have started raising interest rates 6 years ago. The fact that they didn't raise these interest rates 6 years ago puts them in a really bad position right now. Not just the obvious like inflation, and not just the obvious like prices are going to go up, but the fact is now you can't lower interest rates anymore. We've hit zero. We hit negative for a very small time. I don't even know, whatever, it was an infinitesimal amount of time. But if you can't do zero, if you can't go down, you can't save the economy when there's wartime. All right, I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and I want to thank you for your continued support. If you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let us know. You can leave comments on the WWDB fan page on Facebook, and you can look for us online. My name, of course, is Larry Steinhouse, and I'm the host of Money Chat Now. I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. I'm kind of hoping that you guys check out Investor Schooling tonight. Listen, come here tonight. You're going to learn how to invest in real estate. You're going to learn how to invest in the stock market. You're going to learn how to make more money. And most importantly, you're not going to be a shoeshine boy after you learn this. I also want to let you guys know that, of course, I have a new book coming out. My new book is called Money Hacks. It's called Money Hacks as a subtitle because everything you think you know about money is wrong. A few people, I've given a few advanced copies to people, and they think this book is great. I know it's great because I wrote it, and my ego would say nothing else, then it's great. But if you guys want to read this book, I'm telling you, you want to pre-order it right now, go to barnesandnoble.com, look up Larry Steinhouse Money Hacks, and of course, you can order that book right there. You can also go anywhere else that books are sold, but we prefer if you order from Barnes & Noble because you can leave reviews on it now if you'd like to. And I've been telling people, if they show up for class and they show me that they've ordered it, I will give them one of the advanced copies, and there aren't many left. I think there's about 15 left. So if you guys want to stop by and get one of those advanced copies, you can do that as well. Hey, by the way, I also want to know if you've registered for a special event on April 24th. We're having Bill Spadea of New Jersey 101.5 and other special guests that will be discussing both finances and constitutional freedoms, and now's the time to do that. It'll also be an amazing event that will include the two most important things in your future, finances and freedom. We'll also be having lunch and breakfast at the historic Washington Crossing Inn in Washington Crossing, and tickets are selling fast. So go to the number 4mmw.com, the number 4mmw.com, that's 4mmw.com to join us. And don't forget to show up tonight. I also want to say that, of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and stocks and other things that we talk about here. I own some of them. I also want to let you know that nobody has asked me for my opinion, and it's solely my opinion. Hey, I want you guys to all have a profitable day. We'll see you later.